Hello and welcome to the demonstration for the new portal that Cox Co will be using to share with its clients and employees. Today we're going to be looking at two front ends of the portal. It is the same portal. Everyone logs in on the same screen. So the Bureau, Cox Co Bureau, the employer logs in on the same, and so does the employee. But I've got two screens up today so that we can switch between employer and the employee. But when we go live, it will just be one URL address that we will provide for you. So first of all, I am going to give you a very quick demonstration around the new portal. I will show you the employer portal, and then we'll move on to the employee portal so you can see what happens when, for example, pay slips are released. So I will sign, first of all, into the employer portal. The difference between this one and the existing Iris MyPay window is that this actually uses the employee's or the employer's email address. So for an example, I will put in this particular email address here, and this one is linked to a bureau account, an employer account. And when I log in, the credentials are set up so that it thinks that I am in as a bureau. There we go. So now we are in as an employer. So the first screen that you will see as an employer is a dashboard, and it's very similar to the MyPay window in many regards. It has the same menu structure down the side, and it has various bits of information across the screen. There will be various ones of these menu options down the screen that you will not see when we go live. Reason being is there's so much functionality in the system that we will start off with a very simple functionality and gradually build our clients up with the functionality as we roll it out. Our first and most priority is to move clients over in our existing framework with the existing way that we work and mirror that. And then only when we are migrated fully, the clients are happy, the employees are happy, then will we roll out any future functionality. So there will be some functionality that I'm going to show you that actually it won't be available when we first go live, but I will give you a taster of it. So here on the front screen is the dashboard. If you have multiple payrolls in your company, so for example, you might have a weekly and you might have a monthly, we might have a fortnightly and a monthly, or a weekly and a quarterly. Many companies have different payrolls happening within their business, so you can scroll between the different types of payrolls that you would have here. We also have the pay dates and the pay periods for each one that you select over here. You can also select tax weeks, tax months, should you wish. But for argument's sake, where we are at the moment, I'm just going to show you the September payroll. So the first thing we come to here is an indicator whether the payroll is open for changes or whether it is locked. At the moment, this one is green. It means that it is open for changes. If I went and chose a payroll for a previous tax month, it is locked, and you can see that it's gone red. That means that you can no longer add any new payroll information into the payroll for that calendar month. We will be processing. When we send it back to you, of course, you can make changes. Of course, you can add new employees. You can make those changes, but while we're processing, no additional changes can take place. Across the top here, you can also see the stages of a payroll. It changes. You'll notice if I go back again to the test weekly, you can see that it's all green and good to go because the payroll is open. As soon as we're into a payroll which is actually being processed, these colors change color depending on where it is in the process, whether things are overdue. For example, this one here is pending the pay information, and the pay information is 7 days overdue. This is linked to a payroll calendar, so you'll be able to see that. It goes all the way through to the pension side of the payroll. So as we're working within Cox Co, these color statuses will change. They may not change to start off with. You might find that actually they remain static, but as we roll out more and more functionality, we will then adopt this level of visibility across our bureau. We're also, during the payroll, you will have indicators down here if there's some vital information which is missing from each employee record card. So for example, are there any national insurance numbers? Yeah, there are some bank details missing if we're running backs for you. And these will be flagged up from us and they will come through to you as a notification that we need some additional information. Along here, we have various boxes. When we go live with this particular functionality, I will just go back to here again, you will be able to add new starter information. So at the moment, you may fill out a new starter form and send it over to us, and that's absolutely fine. But if we decide that this would be a good functionality for us as a bureau, and you agree that yes, it would be helpful to you, because at the moment you might be processing lots of bits of information and then sending them on to us, and this might be helpful to you. It won't be helpful for all clients because some clients have their own HR systems and they provide those forms to us, but maybe for some clients this actually would be quite useful for them to be able to enter new starter information, lots of information. At the moment this is grayed out, so you can't make any changes because we don't have this functionality turned on, but there's lots of information now that you can fill out for your employees. Exactly the same happens for a leaver. You can go for, I can't get any information up here at the moment, but the levers will come up to say what employees are available to make levers, and you can put the leave data in. Same with employee changes and pay information. This will be template spreadsheets. So if it's right for your business, and when we come to switching on the functionality, there will be templates which you can download. You can populate those templates and then upload those templates back into payroll. And that means we will get the notification that you have uploaded the information, and also those templates are immediately importable into the payroll. But when we kick off, we will be only using this information down here. So this box here is the other instructions. And with this particular box would be very, very similar to what you do with My ePay window. So you would go and grab your folders and upload them. Upload them to the portal. There's options obviously for you to put comments on as well. A little bit further down, there will be some graphs that will suddenly appear. There will be salary information and various breakdowns of your payroll, so you can see it trending over the course of the year. The notifications box is telling you, very similar to My Pay window, what has happened on the system. So have we uploaded a document? Has there been employee changes? Has the salary report come back to you? You can also approve and reject and view. So you can download, make some changes and upload again. Or if you download and you say, well, actually, absolutely correct, I'm going to approve. And as soon as you hit approve, it will then be notified to us that you've approved, and we can continue to payroll forward into the month. Going into the company details, we might actually make some of this available for you to update. Also, we might also remove some of these fields going down, or some of these options down here. But this is where we would make sure that your logo is correct, your color and your branding is correct, so that when your employees sign into the portal, it makes it feel as if they're in your company portal, and this will be branded per client. Here is where the action takes place. So we have a list of employees. I have to select everything because this is test demo. There we go. So here we can select various departments and split things out, as well as you need to split them out, depending on how your payroll is segmented. And within here we have a list of employees and various information, and we can move things around. So if you wanted to have your viewpoints like this, you can, if you wish to move it anywhere. And also if you wanted to choose additional columns. You could say, well, I don't need to see any of this information because those are not relevant when I list my employees. You can certainly do that, and it would have taken them out across the columns. And there are also options on certain fields, not all fields, but certain fields you can also filter. So it means you can filter information on the screen, and then when you're ready, you can export. So there's various, you can select certain ones. You can say, well, I just want those employees, and I can export selected, or I can choose all of the employees and just export. And that means a lot of the filtering and segmenting can take place on the portal and not necessarily in your Excel spreadsheets. There's lots of opportunities to bulk import employees. So if you have a business which you are employing lots and lots of employees all the time, new employees, so we can certainly provide you with a sample template, which is here. You can download a sample, you can populate the sample template, and then you can upload back into the payroll. Obviously, exporting employees is very, very similar to what we just covered. So you can say all the different columns that you might particularly want. You can select some different criteria, and then you can export this data. So the data that we have on the system is very, very easy for you to get hold of and bring into your own Excel spreadsheets. The approval process, we won't switch this on immediately. This would be very much if you're a client and we have to go through a formal authorized approval stage with you before you close your payroll, or it may be because we are running employee payment facilities such as BACS or Bankline, and we need to have the approval set up. And this is when this element here will come into play. Down here, again, there's various options, and it is to do with when we're processing payroll. I'm not going to cover this at the moment. This is just purely for a quick walk around the system. In here, this is how much value of the tax and national insurance per payroll that we'd run for you. Obviously, it's all zero at the moment because it's demo information. But again, you can decide to filter where you can choose the columns that you want to have displayed, and you can export. There are some standard reports that you can get out of the system. There's some box standard reports down here, different reports, detailed employee reports, statutory reports, P60s, P45s. And then we can move into the document section. Now, the document section will be turned on, or at least made available eventually. We're still testing. We still need to ensure whether we have the capacity to hold the volume of documents that our clients may wish to use. It will be a chargeable service, but we'll know more about it when it comes to around about June next year. Once we've got through year end, we'll know which functionality we're going to turn on first and what's most value to our clients to turn on first. So with the documents, we can share in multiple ways. Bureau can share with client can share with employees, Bureau can share with employees can share with client, and also Bureau. So documents can move in multiple directions. The documents are here that we can see are the ones that have been uploaded for a particular employee. They show who they've been uploaded by and the dates. We can also create copies of these, and we can resend them. We can download and have a look at them. There is also a way that we can trigger, so that if it's, for an example, an employer was distributing a new handbook to their employees, you can make it a can view or a must view. And this flag will create a marker so that when the employee logs into their portal, they are forced to go and view the document and agree that they have read it. If it's a must view, if it's a can view, they'll just be notified there is a document there. but otherwise they would have to go and view it, and the system will know whether an employee has viewed that document if it's on a must view. We can then do filters and find out which employees haven't actually read their document. And this is where the document tracking would come into play, but at the moment we don't have any document tracking going on. We also have document approvals. So this would be, for an example, an employee has uploaded a document into the portal, and at the moment it is in pending stage. So it has been uploaded by this employee, Lucy Haskett, and it would be for you to go and notify. It would be up in notifications that an employee has uploaded some documents, and you would then be notified there's some documents for review, and you would have to go and action these and clear them down depending on what had to be done with them. And this is an example of a historical report. So any reports that we as a bureau load for you will appear in the historical reports departments. At the moment, there's an awful lot of test demo information on the system. So some of it won't make a lot of sense, and it will become clearer when it is actually live data going through, because you'll be knowing what to expect, and we'll give you full training on where to go and look and what you need to do with the documents and how to approve, etc. So that's a basic overview of the dashboard. There are some other functionalities. There are HR functionalities, especially regarding to absence management and holiday management, but we won't be rolling those out until we have the data in and settled in the business across Cox Co. As you know, with holiday management, we have to have at least 104 weeks of data to be able to process holiday correctly. And when we move over to this new system, we will bring various information over, but it'll be pay information, not necessarily holiday information. So until we get under the bonnet and actually have a look at the holiday and the absence management, we wouldn't be able to give you an exact date of when that rollout will take place. But we would know more after year end, when we have a year's worth of data on the system, and hopefully can have a look at the reports and see the way that it's reporting. So I'm just going to switch on to the employee portal just so that you can have a look now. Again, the employee portal is exactly the same URL that you and I would use. This is an employee setup, so I'm just going to sign in as Lucy. It's a little bit slow because it's on a demo server, and the resources allocated on a demo server is not quite the same as a live system. So here we are, this is Lucy. So Lucy has some very simple options down the side. If we'd ever switched on timesheets or absence management or anything like that, more options would come down the side. But at the moment, we've got it quite simple. The one here that we wouldn't actually see when we go live is this one here, data request. So at the moment, Lucy can view all of the different information that we have stored for her. And should in the future we decide to turn on the update field requirement, we can set that at either employer level or employee level. So for an example, we could set it up that employers can change bank account details, names, and email addresses, which would then be flagged up to the bureau to say these need to be changed, and do you accept them in this particular pay run? We can also set it up that employees can make those changes. So the employee would have certain fields that they were able to change, and we can flag those fields that we can change. Those changes would go through to their employer as a notification to say that Lucy has changed, say, for example, her bank account details. You would accept it, update the systems that you need to in your business, and then it would be pushed forward into ourselves, into the bureau, where we can then accept the change and make any relevant changes needed, say, for example, on pensions, if a name has changed, or bank BACS details if we were making employer payments. When we come to the pay slips, Lucy only has one on this demo system. There is a box standard templates. There's various templates that we can choose from, but this is a demo system. Again, I keep reminding you. So this is a box standard template of a payslip for Lucy to see. Lucy can obviously download them, and there is an interactive payslip. Now, at the moment, Lucy only has one basic pay component on her payslip, but many employees will have them coming all the way down, might have basic pay, may have commission, overtime, on-call allowances, overnight allowances, you name it, they might have all the different breakdowns underneath here. So in that instance, Lucy would be able to click on the plus arrow and the various components would break out. So this interactive payslip actually allows her to check history. She only has one payslip, but she'll be able to go backwards and forwards and have a look at the various elements which is going on her pay. If you had, for example, an attachment of earnings order, then Lucy would be able to see that, see the registration number, see how much she's paid, and you basically can drill down as far as possible. So as long as we have it split out on the pay with the pay components, then we can report it on here and Lucy can drill down as much as possible. So as I mentioned before with company documents, so Lucy has uploaded some documents. These are the company documents that she has to go in and have a look at, so she can download them and have a look at them. Her P60s, P45s are over here. And if there were pension documents, they would be in here as well. So if Lucy wanted to upload a document, so for an example, she has to upload a P45, then she can just upload the P45 there. Here, but the wrong one. As you can see, it says pending, 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 approved, approved. So when a document comes through and the employer sees that there's a document come through, then they would approve it, and then Lucy knows it's been dealt with. So if it was a holiday request form, or if it was notification for sickness or whatever it is we're going to use the system for, then Lucy would know that whether that document that she has uploaded has been dealt with whether it's the employer that needs to deal with it or whether it is the bureau. So I hope that that has given you a little bit of instruction. Just a quick overview. It's, as I said, demo data. Some of it doesn't make sense, but it just gives you a general overview of what the system's like to look at and the type of functionality that we'll be bringing to you soon. We're very, very excited about it. It's really a pleasant surprise to see a product which actually was built for bureau, employer and employee. It normally only services one person, or rather one set of people, and the others tend to suffer because of it. But we're really, really excited about rolling this out, getting you trained on the system before your go live date, and giving you and your employees the support that you need to get the best out of the systems that we provide. So thank you very much. And I hope that we will be in touch soon.